the guarantee of success when the IQ of a person is high. So earlier we were only emphasizing the intelligence quotient. From Harvard in 73, David McClellan was the next person who, based on his research, introduced a new concept instead of IQ, and he said competency-based assessments would show whether a person will be successful or not. The question which arises here are, what are competencies? Competencies are different types of skills, in simple words, which we possess, which shows whether we will become successful or not, or we are already successful or not. For example, one of the very common competencies is decision making and critical thinking, problem solving, communication skills, interpersonal relationship building, etc. So all these are different types of competencies. So David McClellan for the first time talked about emotional and social skills, like I just gave you the example of interpersonal relationships. Then we moved on to two very important researchers, Salovey and Meyer, and they were from Yale University in New Hampshire. They were the first ones to define the term emotional intelligence, and they said that emotional intelligence means understanding your own emotions and others' emotions. Of course, it was a very simple definition back then. Again, it evolved, much more research was done, and today we will be discussing Daniel Goleman's framework of emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman said that emotional intelligence is one which differentiates average performers in the corporate world from top leaders, and that's the reason we have chosen this particular framework. If you go and search on the net, there are many different types of researchers and frameworks which explain the concept of emotional intelligence. But because Daniel Goleman's work has been focused on leadership, professional working, and not just academic writings, so we thought this is more practical and it will help us more. So he gave this concept a bigger version, and the buck doesn't stop there. We are not going to discuss this, but the research on EI is still continuing. So there are many different aspects of EI. For example, neuroscience integration, emotional AI, youth and education, then mental health, data-driven emotional intelligence training, emotional intelligence and DEI. Now, by the way, DEI in your pre-test was diversity, equality or equity, and inclusion. That people who have high emotional intelligence, they accept diversity and they don't say, okay, everyone should think like me, they should be like me. No, they say, okay, I'm fine, I will listen to everyone's point of view. If I'm in a senior position, decision will be mine because I have to look at the bigger picture and take a big, important, responsible decision. But I embrace diversity. Similarly, equality or equity and inclusion, everyone is welcome. So that is the kind of culture people with high EQ try to develop. If you go into the words of Travis Bradbury or Daniel Goleman, you may get confused, but in very simple words, if I have to explain you, emotional intelligence means two things. Number one, understanding your own emotions. Number two, understanding others' emotions